Welcome race fans, we are back for round 3 of the 2011 MAXC Racing Series. This race report is brought to you by Obermeyer Yamaha. Visit Obermeyer Yamaha in Gosport, Indiana for all your Yamaha dirt bike, ATV, side-by-side, personal watercraft, and SCAR motorcycle needs. Stop by the showroom or visit them online at obyamaha.com. This weekend, we find ourselves in Gosport, Indiana for the inaugural Indy 100, in which MAXC Racing meets GNCC to run in conjunction and go head-to-head for this weekend's action. As normal, the junior ATV classes gave us a little sample of what the action was going to be like for later in the day, producing 75-plus riders and a total of 8 classes for the junior division. Now the top 3 riders overall were able to impress upon the race fans after their 45 minutes of battle on the Indiana terrain, with an impressive finish with one of our lady riders, Alyssa Oaklinger, on the podium and a first-place finish in the girls 18 to 15 class. Next, it was Indiana's own Charlie Welch with a 2nd overall. And the final rider to impress upon us today here in the junior class with a #1 overall in first place in the 90cc Open, Hunter Hart out of Newfield, New York. Well, the clouds started to move in for the AM ATV race. However, the rain held back long enough to get in some plastic fender warfare for the 305 racers that turned out for the 22 classes. Again, 22 whole shots, one after another, continued to keep the crowd entertained. And then it was off to the backwoods for the 10-mile track. After an hour and 57 minutes, 5 laps later, it would be Michael Swift for the overall win and first place in the 4x4 Open. Also finishing at the top of the pack for the overall today in the AM ATV classes, it's Tracy Checo in 3rd with a 1st in the women's class, and Clifton Beasley with a 2nd overall and a 1st in the U2 division. Now, how about the top MAXC riders here from Central Indiana to finish near the top of the overall? The likes of David Dickinson, Garen Davis, Barry Taylor, Chris Benskin, Andrew Langston, and Jerry Stonebreaker, all making a name here for MAXC Racing Series. All the top finishes here today. On to the pro classes here today. We were hoping for the best as far as the weather was concerned, and the weather did hold, at least for the first half of the race. 200 riders find their way to the starting line with a total of 10 rows lined up to grab the whole shot. A nice turnout of race fans lined the first turn to see who would take to the back hills out in front. Now, Brian Wolf would find himself out in front with an early lead. Meanwhile, Chris Borich would be left behind to battle McGill, Kaiser, Lane, and Ackerman for a podium finish. The luck then turned for the worse, and the rain let loose. Track conditions went south in a hurry. After charging to the hills of Brian Wolf, Chris Borich would find himself to run short on time as the rain halted the action short. Wolf then went on to take the win with a spectacular finish. Congratulations to Wolf in his first victory of the season. Meanwhile, Chris Borich would wind up to finish with a hard-fought 2nd, and Adam McGill rounds out the top 3 in the pro overall. The final race of the day, the UTV class, would get underway after the torrential downpours turned the course into nothing short of nasty. The conditions made it tough to even negotiate through the checkpoints. Now the hardcore UTV boys waste no time getting dirty, and the weather didn't seem to stop the race fans from coming out to see the start. The 45-minute race ended up with Team Hendershot on the podium, with Team Coastal National Guard in 2nd, and Team NC Power Sports on top with the win. Well, that should wrap it up for round 3 of the 2011 Racing Series. We would like to thank the GNCC for coming out, along with all the racers and race fans, and certainly the MAXC Racing crew. The 2011 MAXC Racing Series has been brought to you by Maxxis Tire, Western Power Sports, Fly Racing, Bling Star, TNT Motorsports, Jet Suspension, Indy Moto, Spider Graphics, Parks Motorsports, and Obermeyer Yamaha bringing you today's coverage. Next week, we head to Bedford, Indiana for the Miracle Trail Race to help benefit Riley Hospital. On behalf of the MAXC Racing crew, we hope to see you there. So until then, I'm Jamie Deere, and that concludes this race recap. I hope to see you soon.